I love this because it was the person who lived here before me, this was their office. And I was like, this will be a great studio, like to fill it with my records and books, because it'll just make the room dead in a cool way, which it is. Everything I have is sort of morphed for what, like, what I need, basically, like what people, like I'm working with people and what they're asking for. This kit is meant to be my kind of like live room kit. I thought this would be like my live kit with very few microphones. And then I thought in another area would be like a dead kit, and that would just be it. It'd be like 2 kits. And then over time, I just kept doing it more and more, like recording more and more remote sessions for people and learning how to get certain kinds of sounds. So yeah, this is the dead kit that, so yeah, a lot of my career through the years, even in, whatever, the major studios, oftentimes we would end up building a sort of fort, if you will, over drum sets to make them super dead. And to this day, like I was recently at East West Studio, and the second engineers who work there, who are, like 22 years old and like just fresh out of recording school or whatever it is, and are, eager to learn. And I was like, hey, do you know how to do the fort thing with drums? Like, do you have a protocol for that anymore? And they were like, oh yeah. And so it's just been passed down. So it's like, I think it's an old school kind of like common trick. And I've just learned that it's a quick and easy way to just like contain the space right around the drum set. And, and depending on the space you're in, like, you can still have room mics and get like a super, you can have like a punchy close mic thing, drum sound, and have great room sounds at the same time. This is set up for mostly for my son to like practice on.
It looks like he's a righty.
Yeah, he's a righty. Although he said he likes playing lefty, which he's used to, but he is right-handed. So I'm like, no, if you want to play, you can. But yeah, he's like, well, but these sound better. Which I love. I love this kit though. It's awesome. I mean, that is pretty slick, if I may say so myself. Yeah, dang. That was pretty cool, how that was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was really easy to, once I figured it out, it was like really easy to do that. Yeah, so people will ask me if I can record drums for them remotely, basically. Occasionally, it'll be producers that I work with who we usually record together in person, and that's kind of their comfort zone. But, they know that I have this, so they feel comfortable. Okay. With all the different kits and different setups and expanding my, my like the gear that I had by sort of necessity to do what I was trying to do. Like, then I started to learn how to record drums. I feel pretty confident about I know how to record drums, but my knowledge I feel like it stops there. I was just checking each mic. Did a little line check. Hey. I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing because it's insane. But yeah, don't waste too much footage on this.
Honestly, it's
here it
just
is.
arranged enough to be cool.
Oh, okay, cool. And something clicked, I don't know, in the last 5 or more years where I think like into my 30s and part of my 40s, I was not that obsession that you're talking about was kind of like gone. Like I just wanted to work and get done and then get out and do something else. And maybe that involved listening to music, but yeah, now I feel like a kid again, which is really interesting. And I'm like able to, do all that and spend a lot of time like obsessing the way. And probably in a new way. Not the way I did when I was a kid, but certainly it's that same, I think it's the same energy. And it's I think it's really rewarding. I think it's cool. Whoa. Sick. I might even do a little meter change. Do I bother? No, but I can do this. 5, 4. At this point in my life, I feel like I feel like I'm really just grateful to, do my like childhood passion as my career. It's like a weird one because it's like super stressful at times, but when I kind of sit back, I'm like, it's a life that's, based around being creative. And away we go.